If you have seen Squid Game Season 2, you know there is one guy who really sets himself apart from the rest of the contestants. I am, of course, talking about Thanos, the drugged-up lunatic who is having a little too much fun goofing around whilst everyone is getting murdered. But it did make me wonder, what would happen if Thanos actually survived the Squid Game and had to face the consequences of his actions? From his riz to eating candy from a holy cross, this guy would probably have some rethinking to do. Although, he did riz me up, to be honest. Just like the Infinity Stones, there are 6 crimes our Thanos is adding to his collection, and I'm pretty sure one of them might surprise you. First off, we have his terrible but interesting riz game. We really get to know the guy in Red Light, Green Light. He seems like an interesting person who is very outgoing, and he even got bars.
I'm a legend, Thanos.
He is becoming pretty friendly with this pretty lady until a bee ends up on her neck. Gi-hun was working hard to save everyone, but Thanos somehow turned a pickup line about bees and flowers into her death.
네가 꽂힌 거 하나 봐. 너한테 벌이 앉았어.
This wasn't his fault though, as he still thought they were playing a game. But then life became a little too real for him, so he decided to pray to his god, and he was finally free. But he was having a bit too much fun and decided to tag the players in front of him.
Ding.
A pretty fun move if you'd ask me, but now these players get shot and his villain arc begins. He could have easily saved these people, but now he will have to be locked up for quite a while. Korea is a pretty strict country, but for those wondering, this is not a murder, as in the case of murder there needs to be evidence of some sort of premeditated plan or intention. This is, however, either manslaughter, 3 times that is, or it would be some sort of negligence. But as manslaughter can also be a form of negligence, it's pretty clear. In Korea, you can be sentenced for no less than 7 years per unalive person. So in this case, that's 21 years behind bars. I'm sorry, bro. At least it seems you are enjoying yourself towards the finish line. This brings us to his next crime on the list. What were those Infinity Stones he was munching on that made him escape reality? I'm not sure, but this guy wants some of it.
그거 하면 안 돼요. 저도 형 아까 했던 거 그 십자가 안에 있었던 거 있잖아.
I don't know what the fuck are you talking about?
저 떨려서 제가 게임 못하면 우리 다 죽어요.
이거 새로 합성한 거라 완전 fucking crazy, man.
Based on all the evidence, we can pretty clearly state this is a stimulant with a certain dose of I want to trip balls. I went through an entire list of all possible drugs with these effects, and it's either something made up for the show, or it would be a combination of a whole lot. Either way, it's pretty fair to say this is not legal to own or trade. And Korea is not a fan. That would be 10 years and 100 million won for just owning the stuff, and giving it to your newfound friend gives you another 2 years and 20 million. And although they are having fun, remember kids, a drug-taking murderer is not a great role model. Who wasn't having any fun, however, was the crypto boy going by the name of MG Coin. Thanos decides to find a new girlfriend after his first got unalived because of a bee. This new girl, however, doesn't buy it and is not impressed by the infinity nails.
Senorita, excuse me. 너 게임 나랑 같이 하자.
내가 왜? 인피니티 스톤은 다 모았고?
Of course. 지금부터 내 앞을 가로막는 자들은 내가 싸그리 쓸어버릴 거야. 넌 내 뒤에만 있으면 안전해.
The girl mocks him, and he says he will destroy anything in the way of his greatness. And this is where our boy MG Coin comes in. Thanos ended up in this squid show because he lost all his money in some crypto scams promoted by the influencer. He wanted to jump off a bridge, but that is where the recruiter stepped in. However, when Thanos wakes up in his new pajama, he finds MG Coin himself, and he isn't afraid to show his hate for him. In a gentle but threatening way, Thanos explains how he will make sure MG Coin is going to win the Squid Game, so he can then go and pay him. However, he forgot in order for MG Coin to win, he would have to die. But that doesn't take away the fact that he said he would own him and destroy him if he doesn't comply. This is a serious criminal threat and gives him another 3 years behind bars. So with 3 crimes now set in stone, Thanos only needs 3 more to become inevitable. Sadly, one of the stones doesn't come with serious sacrifice. In the game Mingle, the contestants are put on a giant rotating disc. At some point, a number gets called out and you have to enter a room with not more or less than the called number. But as Thanos and his newfound friend are enjoying themselves, all of a sudden the number 4 gets called out. However, from the previous game, the Thanos squad consists of 5 players. He has to think really hard and drop one. As a real leader, he decides quick and saves everyone.
경주, you! Ow!
However, after he enters the room with 4 and the room is locked in, he asks the gang where Gyung-soo is. He gets angry and sad as he sees his friend die in the sweep, not realizing he is the one responsible. This kick is pretty messed up and would add to his assault charges. And yes, that was plural, as his friend MG Coin also got assaulted by the Purple Titan.
그치?
시발 새끼.
And he even wanted to fight Big Daddy himself, but he was not even close to getting a hit in on Mr. Front. But all strikes are most likely another 2 years. I mean, at least he can write some more cool bars in jail. You would think that would be it, right? But the most surprising crime didn't even happen during a game. In this season of Squid Game, the players were split, and Thanos declared himself the leader of Team O and was as loyal as possible. Every voting round, he would skip towards the buttons with pride to enter his team. But after a while, he wanted to really show his commitment. Maybe it were the girlfriends he wasn't able to secure. But next up, he rizzed up the O button.
Let's go!
It's pretty disgusting, and you would think that's all it is, but it's actually also illegal, especially since the pandemic. A lot of players had to press that button after him, and you don't know what kind of diseases are on that purple man's tongue. For this diabolical action, he would likely receive a fine of another 1 million won. And as we are talking about hitting buttons, you might want to hit that subscribe button. Don't kiss it though. I don't want to feel your saliva through the screen, and phone screens are kind of radioactive, so be careful out there. Other places that are disgusting are, of course, toilets. And toilets bring us to the final infinity stone, the toilet party. After a tie in the votes, the tension was rising and the men were feeling it. So when Thanos had another interaction with MG Coin, he decided he was done with it.
충분한 건 뭐 있네. 야, MG 코인. 너 내일 재투표할 때 내가 네 손가락 잘라다가 사귀자고 할 거야.
His actions started an entire brawl in the men's toilet. Meanwhile, in the female toilet, the women were just crying and comforting each other, but not Thanos. As the brawl unfolds, multiple people end up dead. Thanos was now on the verge of killing someone with his own bare hands. His victim is, of course, none other than Mr. MG Coin. But just on the brink of death, he found a fork in his pocket. He was saving for a midnight snack and stabs the purple man. Even with a fork deep-throated, he still slides on the floor like a zombie trying to be inevitable. But little did we know that would be the rapper's last breath. He will and won't be missed. This would have been an attempted murder charge, but sadly, there is no one left to receive the actual charge, but I guess his corpse can rot in jail for another lifetime. And for the brawl he started, he also gets another 3 years. As you cannot be starting riots, especially in public toilets. Toilets are for pee-pee and poo-poo only. Guys, leave the rest for someplace else. And with that, we can finally answer the question how long Thanos' prison sentence would have been had he won Squid Game. The answer is a life sentence, 28 years, and a fine of 21 million won, which would be around $14.3 thousand. I think it's pretty fair to say, even though he is a drug-munching murder machine, he did carry the show.
What's up? Nice to meet you, my brother. Welcome to the Thanos world. 귀엽다 너. Come on. I don't know what the fuck are you talking about. 이거 새로 합성한 거라 완전 fucking crazy, man. 감당 안 돼.
씨발려나.
Stop it. Come on, my boy. I'm back, my friends.
If you like seeing how long this guy would be in jail, make sure to click the video on screen now.